If you've been scrolling through endless TV options, comparing pixel counts, refresh rates, and price tags, and you still feel stuck, this review is for you. I've spent the last few days setting up the TCL 75-inch NXTVISION series picture frame art TV in a living room that's part gallery, part home theater, and I'll walk through what actually matters after the box is opened. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll keep it honest about where the value really lives. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have is whether a TV that looks like a piece of art can still deliver a decent watching experience. The NXTVISION promises an ultra-slim profile just 1.1 inches deep and comes with a light wood frame that's meant to blend into a wall like a framed painting. In practice, that design does what it says. The screen sits almost flush against the wall, and the frame adds a subtle, gallery-ready border that makes the whole setup feel intentional rather than just another TV. If you've ever tried to hide a bulky television behind core, you'll appreciate that this model actually removes the bulk instead of disguising it. Installation was surprisingly painless because TCL includes a specially designed flush wall mount. You bolt the mount, slide the TV in, and it snaps into place without having to juggle extra brackets. That simplicity is a real win for anyone who isn't a professional installer. The downside is that the mount is fixed, there's no tilt or swivel, so you need to be sure the TV will sit at the perfect height from the start. In my case, I positioned it at eye level for seated viewing, and the lack of adjustment hasn't been a problem, but if you have a variable seating arrangement you might want a separate, more flexible mount. Now, let's talk about what you'll actually see on the screen. The picture is a QLED 4K panel with a 120 Hz refresh rate and Dolby Atmos audio baked in. For everyday streaming Netflix, Disney+, YouTube, the combination feels smooth and the colors pop enough to make the QLED label matter. HDR scenes are respectable, though the peak brightness isn't at the level of premium flagship models, so in a sun-filled room you'll notice a slight washout on the brightest highlights. The 120 Hz claim is mostly achieved through motion interpolation, which helps sports and fast action movies look less jittery. But hardcore gamers may still pick up on input lag because the TV lacks true native high-refresh gaming features like HDMI 2.1 and variable refresh rate. Sound is another practical consideration. The built-in speakers support Dolby Atmos, giving a wider soundstage than a typical TV speaker, but the actual output is still limited by the thin chassis. In a small to medium room the audio feels full enough for dialogue and casual movie nights, yet it won't replace a dedicated soundbar or a home theater system if you're after immersive, cinema-level bass. That said, the absence of external speakers makes the whole unit look cleaner on the wall, which is a trade-off many art-focused buyers are willing to accept. One of the unique selling points is the integrated art library and AI-generated art mode. When you're not watching a show, the TV can display a rotating selection of curated artworks or AI-created pieces, turning the screen into a digital canvas. I tried it during a dinner party, and the ambient art sparked conversation without anyone having to think about a TV on. The library is decent, but it does rely on a constant internet connection, and the AI options feel a bit limited compared to dedicated digital frames. Still, for a household that wants a TV to double as decor, it's a clever feature that adds genuine lifestyle value. Who should buy this? If you're someone who loves a clean aesthetic, wants a large screen that doesn't dominate the wall, and enjoys the novelty of swapping between movies and art without buying a separate frame, the NXTVISION hits a sweet spot. It's especially appealing for apartments or modern homes where the TV is part of the overall interior design. On the other hand, if your priority is top-tier gaming performance, peak HDR brightness, or a fully adjustable mounting solution, you'll likely be better served by a more performance-focused TV that doesn't try to be a picture frame. Practical strengths.